A sudden earthquake reduced an entire city to rubble. People who lost their homes searched desperately through the wreckage for loved ones, their cries echoing among the ruins. A terrorist detonated a bomb in a subway station, instantly ending countless lives. A young mother, dying of cancer, lay quietly on her hospital bed, leaving behind 5 little kids to face life's hardships alone. When tragedies like these happen, people often look up to the sky, angry, confused, helpless, and ask, why? It's one of the oldest questions out there, and it's never really gone away. Why is this world full of pain, war, sickness, and injustice? Why do good people suffer while bad ones seem to get ahead? And if God really exists, why would He allow all these terrible things to happen? If you've ever asked those questions, you're not alone. People have been wrestling with them for thousands of years. Even in the Bible, a prophet named Habakkuk cried out to God, "Why do you let me see injustice? Why do you tolerate oppression? Why is there destruction, conflict, and violence everywhere I look?" His questions were raw and honest, showing that even people with strong faith can feel shaken, confused, and heartbroken when they face suffering. But God did answer him. In Habakkuk 2 verses 2-3, God promised that He would act in due time. And in 1 Peter 5 verse 7, we're reminded, "Cast all your anxiety on Him because He cares for you." That's not just meant to be comforting, it's a promise. Pain won't last forever. God will step in, and He'll do it the right way at the right time. In fact, God hates seeing people suffer even more than we do. So today, let's talk about it. Why is there so much suffering in the world? Who's really in charge? A lot of religious people say, everything that happens, good or bad, is part of God's will. Some even claim that every detail of our lives has already been planned by God, including the bad stuff, and we're just not meant to understand it. Others say that when someone dies, especially a child, it's because God wanted them with Him in heaven. But let's be honest, do those explanations really make sense? According to the Bible, they don't. In fact, the Bible gives us a very different answer. Job 34 verse 10 says, "The Almighty will not do evil." 1 John 5 verse 19 goes even further. The whole world is under the control of the evil one. In other words, God isn't the one directly ruling this world right now. Satan is. That's why the world is full of lies, hatred, violence, and injustice. And no, Satan isn't just some fairy tale. He's a real spiritual being, a fallen angel who turned against God. He's been working ever since to mislead, divide, and destroy humanity. He challenged God's authority and wants to make people believe we don't need God at all. Our choices matter, but Satan isn't the only reason for all the pain. There's another factor, us. When Adam and Eve were in the Garden of Eden, they chose to believe Satan instead of God. They thought they could decide right and wrong for themselves. That choice brought sin into the world. And since then, every human has been affected by that choice. We're all imperfect, and we all mess up. People argue, bully, fight, and even start wars. Some chase power, others act out of jealousy or greed. And while God could have stopped it all right then and there, He didn't. Why? Because He gave us the gift of free will. He gave humanity the chance to prove whether we really want to live under His guidance or go our own way. So far, history shows that doing things without God hasn't worked out so well. Sometimes bad things just happen. There's another reason for suffering: bad luck and unpredictability. Ecclesiastes 9 verse 11 says, The fastest runner doesn't always win the race. Time and unexpected events happen to them all. In other words, sometimes things just happen. Earthquakes, floods, accidents, none of them are God's doing. The Bible even says in Jeremiah 10 verse 23, "It's not for man to direct his own steps." That's not just poetic, it's the reality of human experience. We don't always have control, and we don't always know why certain things happen when they do. So you might still wonder, if God is all-powerful and loving, why doesn't He just stop all the suffering? God has a reason and a plan. Back in Eden, Satan questioned whether God's way of ruling was right. He convinced Adam and Eve that God was holding back something good from them. Basically, Satan claimed that he would be a better ruler. So how could God prove that Satan was wrong? By letting time and history reveal the truth. God didn't destroy the rebels right away. Instead, He let human history play out, giving us the chance to see what life is like under human rule, influenced by Satan. And let's be honest, no amount of technology, democracy, or science has solved our deepest problems. Why does God allow suffering? A bigger plan is at work. God is allowing Satan to keep ruling the world for now, not because he doesn't care, but to prove something really important, that humans simply can't succeed without his guidance. This isn't God sitting back doing nothing. It's actually part of his plan to fix things for good, once and for all, so that no one will ever doubt or challenge his way again. People really do need help from Jehovah. The prophet Jeremiah nailed it when he said, Jeremiah 10 verse 23, "Jehovah, I know that our lives are not our own. We're not even able to direct our own steps. So why has God let suffering go on for so long? Does this mean pain and injustice are here to stay? Not at all. God already promised He'll fix everything through His Son, Jesus." Revelation 21 verse 4 gives this beautiful promise. He will wipe every tear from their eyes. There will be no more death or sorrow or crying or pain. One day, earth will be restored to the paradise it was always meant to be. People won't worry about food. Sickness and war will be gone. No more injustice, just peace. But how will God undo all the damage Satan has caused? Can He really make everything right again? Absolutely. Nothing is too hard for Him. Once Satan's lies and accusations are completely exposed and proven false, God will step in. He'll use Jesus to undo all the works of the devil, completely erase all the hurt and pain Satan brought into the world. And we should be thankful God hasn't acted too soon. His patience gives all of us a chance to get to know Him, to understand His ways, and to choose to follow Him. God doesn't force anyone to obey Him. He gave us something truly special, the freedom to choose. Why is that such a big deal? Because it sets us apart from animals and machines. Animals mostly run on instinct. Machines follow programming. But we get to decide what kind of life we want to live. We get to choose whether to do what pleases God. We get to decide who we want to be, who we spend our time with, and how we use our lives. God, like a loving parent, wants us to live a joyful, meaningful life. And you, someone with thoughts, emotions, and the power to choose, can decide right now if you want to be part of that future world. God won't twist your arm. He wants people to come to Him willingly, just like a father who longs to hear his child say, "I love you," and truly mean it. That freedom to choose? It's one of the greatest gifts He's given us. It shows just how deeply He loves us. Satan, Adam, and Eve made their choice to rebel. Now it's your turn. Your choice will shape your future. This world may be dark right now, but darkness doesn't last forever. In fact, it's in the darkest night that the stars shine the brightest. God hasn't abandoned us. He's just waiting for the right moment, when every question has an answer and every misunderstanding is cleared up. Then, He'll step in, wipe away the pain, and bring humanity back to the happiness we were always meant to have. In the meantime, we can start making changes in our lives. We can move closer to the truth. We can become messengers of hope. And when we understand that suffering isn't random, but allowed for a reason and part of a bigger plan, our hearts get stronger. We start to hope again. Because no, God hasn't forgotten us. He's leading the world, step by step, into the light.